I want to stick with the Warriors here, though, because Warriors owner Joe Lacob was fined for violating the league's policy on publicly discussing collective bargaining talks that included Lacob describing the team's luxury tax system and the league's luxury tax system as, quote, unfair, or very unfair, actually. The comments, which aired on the Point Forward podcast hosted by Andre Iguodala and Evan Turner, it included Lacob defending the Warriors championship roster and the leading payroll and luxury tax bills that exceed $340 million in the franchise's championship season. So here was Andre's thoughts on the fine as he voiced last night at the ESPYs.
I just came up here to promote my podcast, Point Forward, with my man Evan Turner. We just got Joe Lacob fined $500,000. I'm sorry, Joe.
All right, so Brian, why does this whole fine ordeal, I think fascinate was the word you used off camera, fascinate you?
Well, the thing about it is, Malika, the team that spends the most money usually doesn't win. It has happened a few times in the last decade. And in this moment, when the team that spent the most money did win, and it happened to be the most money ever spent on a payroll, and the disparity between the top teams and even the middle, forget about the bottom teams, just the top team in the middle has never been greater. So when you take that into account, plus the fact that we're entering a new collective bargaining agreement cycle, these discussions are now actually beginning, you're just going to see some sensitivity out there. The Warriors are sensitive. The Warriors are sensitive to the concept that they bought the championship because they don't believe that. They believe that they drafted and developed players and that those players got so good they had to pay them. And that's a totally fair thing to say. Then you look at other teams out there that are saying, we can't even begin to pay what the Warriors pay in luxury tax. Forget about their actual payroll. We can't even pay what they're in luxury tax. How could we stay on the same playing field? And I think they have a point. So I do think that the Warriors recognize that it has gotten a little bit out of whack, that the rules designed to keep the more competitive balance with the luxury tax are not penal enough, and that there's a decent chance that there's going to be some corrections that could put sort of sideboards on the Warriors into the future. But it's not going to change in the short term. Their star players are still in their primes. The Warriors sold part of the team. Joe Lacob and his partners sold part of the team to finance luxury tax payments for the next few years. So there may be some suppression coming, but in the short term, they're going to just be fine. And if you get upset about it, just look at your ring and don't worry about what anybody else says.
Right, there you go. I was talking to another NBA owner the other day who told me that he thinks that there could be some adjustments made, particularly if you were drafting a player and that's what puts you in the luxury tax. That should be potentially treated differently as trading for that type of player and that being put in the luxury tax.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.